I must quickly establish a school that implemented President Makiguchi's value-creating education.
President Makiguchi's value-creating education emphasized that
the purpose of Soka Education is to cultivate the individual's ability to create value. Through working for their own welfare as well as that of others, individuals can live happy lives as members of a society that prospers.
in the same year, 1965, a steering committee to look into the establishment of Soka University was set up. During the first committee meeting,
Let's aim to open a Soka High School in 1968. We can look to establishing the university sometime after 1970. Our ultimate goal is an all-inclusive educational system, which is why I am behind the idea of establishing a junior and senior high school together. I am also planning to have our university up and running in time for the first graduating senior high school class. In the future, I would like to establish an elementary school and a kindergarten, and I intend to build schools on other places than Tokyo as well.
Ikeda thought ahead to the 21st century as he spoke.
The value-creating education that President Makiguchi left to us is a great spiritual legacy of humanity. It is not just for the Japanese, but also for people all around the world. I don't know when, but I'm also determined to someday found a Soka University in the United States that will produce outstanding humanistic leaders dedicated to world peace. I regard education as my final undertaking.
The Soka Junior and Senior High Schools were eventually established in 1968. Ikeda participated actively in the various school events, such as the opening ceremony. One morning, during this period of regular visits to the Soka schools, Ikeda's wife Kaneko said to him,
"Dear, you are going to the Soka schools today, aren't you?"
Ikeda had not mentioned anything about his plans for the day to Kaneko yet. He asked,
How did you know?
I can tell. On the days you are going to visit the campus, there's always more of a bounce in your step. You seem happier than usual.
Supporting the growth of Soka School students was my greatest purpose in life. I'll give my all to it, caring for them and nurturing them with my whole heart.
I understand. That's why, when you know you are going to see them, you are filled with joy and excitement.
A few months later, the Glory Group was set up to support the needs of students staying in rented rooms near to the campus. Yoshinari Yabuki was the first chairperson of the group. Yoshinari himself was an off-campus boarding student, and he had a hard time adapting to the new school at the beginning. But after a few months in the new school, Yoshinari started making new discoveries. For instance,
the teachers here are always passionately encouraging us to study and grow for the sake of others, for society, and for world peace. In my previous school, the teacher only talked about college entrance exams and test scores. Their highest goal seemed to be getting as many students as possible into the prestigious University of Tokyo.
some teachers at Yoshinari's former school even said things like,
"If you can't keep up with the class, you belong in night school."
Yoshinari had disagreed with such teachers. In that sense, he was impressed by the sincerity and integrity of the Soka Senior High faculty. Another incident that influenced Yoshinari involved a junior student who was living off-campus near Yoshinari. Yoshinari knew about him, but he never tried to reach out to the junior. Then, one day, a teacher responsible for off-campus students said to Yoshinari,
"Why don't you make an effort to encourage him? He's only a first-year junior high student and he's living alone, away from his parents. You are older than him. You shouldn't be so cold. You should be ashamed of yourself for not trying to help your juniors."
Yoshinari had been a top student in junior high, and along the way, he had come to only care about his grades and forgot the spirit of caring for others. This remark by the teacher made him aware for the first time of his self-centered nature. Even while he was being scolded, Yoshinari thought to himself,
The teacher was speaking the truth. Any school with teachers who would take the trouble to say something so important must really be a great one.
Another factor that had a profound impact on Yoshinari was his contact with the school's founder, President Ikeda. Yoshinari had heard from his father about how incredibly busy President Ikeda was. However, Yoshinari observed that
President Ikeda still makes time to travel to the Soka schools to spend time with us and speak with us directly. He also listened to our problems and encouraged us with all his might. Sometimes, President Ikeda even played tennis or ping pong with us. I can still remember that time when Mr. Ikeda missed a volley in a game. He pretended to be upset and playfully stamped his feet in frustration to make us laugh. I can sense President Ikeda's love and hopes for us, the students of the Soka schools. I must respond to President Ikeda's feelings.
Yoshinari subsequently took up the post of chairperson in the Glory Group and contributed actively towards the welfare of students staying off campus. Eventually, Yoshinari went to the United States to further his studies and obtained a PhD from Washington State University at the encouragement of his mentor, President Ikeda. However, in the history of the Soka schools, there were in fact some students who got into trouble and were expelled. Whenever such a thing happened, Ikeda prayed earnestly for those students. One autumn, when Ikeda was visiting the campus,